let's look at how a Vlookup function in Excel works. So I've stripped out all of the column headings and rows, and we're just going to concentrate on the data. And if we look at this invoice number here, this one I've just put a red box around. So with a Vlookup, you have to have some information that you know already that sits outside where the data is found. So what I'd like to do, just be a human Vlookup and have a look if you can find the company name that invoice number applies to. So you should have come back with CDIS. And let's just work through that process. So you started off with this information that you knew, and then you went over to this table here. And with a Vlookup, the information you know has to be found in that first column. So we went down, found the information, and then we brought back the corresponding information in the second column. And that is how a Vlookup works. You have information you know already, you have a table containing the information you're going to look for, and then you have a column containing the information you're bringing back. Now also for Vlookups, the columns are numbered, so the first column will be number 1, the second column will be number 2, 3, 4 and 5. So depending on what information you want to bring back, if I was bringing back the date, for example, I'm bringing back the information from column 4. If I'm bringing back the amount, I'm bringing back the information from column 3. In the example I gave you, you're bringing the company back, so you're bringing back the information from column 2. Okay, now that's quite important when we come over to Excel, because that's how the Vlookup function is working. So let's think about this again. You've got the cell you're looking up, you've got the table where all the information is stored, and you have got the column number that is bringing back. And if you imagine every single column has a number, you would just pick the relevant number that you want to bring back. Okay, let's have a look at this working in Excel. So let's this example is in Excel, and we've now got some columns and some cell references. So let's have a look again. This information we're looking up is actually found in G4. So it's G4 that is my lookup value. So let's pop, I'm going to write these down so I remember them. Don't ever be afraid to write down things in Excel to help your thought process. We tend to think, oh, we've got to type everything, but sometimes writing things down really helps. Okay, so we're looking up the item in G4. We're looking up this invoice number. Now my attention is on the table where that information is found. So if we look over here, this is the table, and I can see the name of the table. I'm going to show you where to find that. That's up in table design. So if I go to table design at the top, I did a whole video on tables. There it is, TBL invoice. So if you want to have a look at it, go back, and I'll put a link to it in the so you can see and go back and look at tables. But this table is called TBL invoice, and have a look at that video because it will show you how to put name tables, create tables, and what fab things they are. Anyway, so the table is TBL invoice. Okay, so we know we're looking up G4, we're looking up TBL invoice, and let's talk about the column number. So we said, oh sorry, that's not meant to do that. Right, so if we were to think about what we are bringing, what column we're bringing back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want the company. Now the company is found in column 2. So what I would do in my Vlookup formula, when I actually do it, I would put number 2. It's not B, it's because that means wherever the table is on the sheet, it will still be column 2. And this example is going to be a false, which means this number here exactly matches the one in the table. And if we look at, I'm just going to make that one yellow. So if we look at the two of them, they are an exact match. Now I have got on my website, I've got some videos, I've got a video course on this, and it talks about when true and false is used and goes into it in far more detail, but for the moment we're going to be using false. Okay, so there are our 4 parts we need for our lookup formula. So let's get going. We're going to put them into the formula. We'll start with equals Vlookup. Okay, open bracket, and we just put the first bit in, which is the cell, comma. Okay, so comma divides each part of the formula, and otherwise Excel wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now I need the table name, TBL invoice. On some versions of Excel, when you put the table name in, it goes red to show that it recognises it, comma, and I need column 2, comma, and then false. So what it's done is taken those 4 parts of the formula, separated them with a comma, close my brackets, press enter, and there we are, CDIS. Now I would tend to use this if I had a lot to look up, or there was a great big long list and I didn't want to go down the list manually, but it's a far more efficient way than us trying to manually look it up. So what can you do next? Well, have a practice this, and there's a lot of stuff in Excel we do that you need to practice because it doesn't come easy. And go back over this video and try and identify the different parts of the formula. I have got a course on my website that talks about VLOOKUPs, and it has got practical exercises that you can go through and practice yourself, and you get a certificate at the end. But by all means, go back and review this video and see how you get on. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos. If there's anything else you want me to cover, or you've got any questions, please do so. I hope this has really helped your VLOOKUPs. Thank you very much for watching.